Two important events going on in Los Angeles today. The Gymnastics at UCLA with a crowd for the first time in nearly 2 years. And they're going to have a gathering down off of Manchester in Inglewood at SoFi Stadium, home of the LA Rams. 80,000 expected. Rams-Niners, the NFC Championship and a trip to the Super Bowl. I think I would start in about 15, 20 minutes, but stay with us. One more rotation, you can catch up with football. So UCLA coming in was talking about going 49 across the board. That's still live. Went 49.250 on vault, 49.050 on bars, and just went 49.250 on balance beam, which is just below their season best last week at Oregon State. The best score, Emma Malabuyo, 99.25 for the Bruins.
Emma is someone that has experience at competing at a high level, the biggest stage at that. And as I mentioned, she's just having so much fun up there. She knows how to deliver. She knows what she's doing. She's a freshman and has already found her stride.
.9925 for Malabuyo. So that is by far a career best for her. No wonder she's walking around with a grin on her face. And the 49.250, and UCLA had control of this meet certainly after the second rotation, but they've led wire to wire, and now they'll be finishing on the floor. The good news in that rotation for Arizona, they also hit 49 for just the third time this year in any rotation. And for the first time on floor, a 49.050 for Arizona. And the best score there, Harry with the 9.875, Hargrove and Fears both with 9.8 pluses. So you can see that rotation is there. It just needs to gel and be a bit stronger at the top end with Orman, Castles, and Muller. And Muller had some trouble, so they dropped that score, but they need one of those to pop, and they're over 49 every week. Come back. It's a floor party in Westwood. First time in 2 years. I missed it. Turn up the music. Coach, often referred to as Miss Val, now retired, but still in the gym. Great to see her again, showing support for the program. And she's always been a big champion for Chris Waller. And when everyone was talking about Miss Val leaving UCLA, was it going to be Chris? And she said, of course it's going to be Chris. And you were part of that. You were here.
Yeah.
Is there any doubt inside the team?
There was no doubt, for sure. I'm so happy that she's here in support, for sure, and I know people are just loving to see her in the crowd as well.
1991 to 2019 for Ms. Val, and she sat right here at this table with us. I think she was hawking her book to me one time. She made me read it.
Did she bring it to you?
Yeah, Don't Wait to Dance, right? Is that what it is?
Did she sign it for you as well?
Yeah, she did actually sign it, and I have it at home up on a shelf. Let's talk about UCLA again, because it was kind of the theme coming in. It's a big story in gymnastics, of course, and we wanted to see UCLA improve. We weren't asking for a 198 today. We were asking maybe for a 197. You got to go 49.250. UCLA's done that in 2 rotations, but for me, the consistency is there. But I still see apprehension. I was thinking the beam might be their chance to really punch through kind of this mental block and all the emotions that's going on. And they just seem like they were hesitant. Are you seeing it that way, or am I off base?
As we mentioned before, beam is always a make or break event.
Yeah, that's right.
You know, you do need to be in a good mental space to go up on the balance beam. But there were girls that did really well, and then you had some that were a little shaky. But I think overall we're stepping in the right direction.
Right. And for UCLA, ranked 13th on the beam coming in, I said, so while all the other events are kind of struggling right now to find a rotation and find consistency, the beam, the hardest event in gymnastics, actually was pretty good for UCLA, ranked 13th, and they were averaging better than a 49 coming in, almost a 49.2, and they go 49.250. So maybe that is you need something to build on, right? You need
building blocks. You know, the pyramid of success. We'll look at it that way. John Wooden.
The pyramid of success. Every Bruin knows it, right? Every Bruin's read that book as well. Me also. So UCLA now is going to go to the floor, and that's also a top 20 event for them. They're also averaging better than a 49.1, and they have hit 49 in both of their meets. So maybe they go 49, and maybe somebody goes viral. Hallie Moset back at 17. Saw De Jesus. The great Kaylin Ohashi twice. People still talk about Ohashi. I had 2 people at a soccer game bring up Ohashi to me. 2-timer, Nia Dennis. These are all viral floors You were here for it. I mean, I sat here, but you were out on the floor. Marcetta Frazier last year.
It was crazy too because my sophomore year is when the first routine went viral. So to be there for, 4 out of those 6 routines to go viral, and it just seems like every year there's a new routine that's going to gain traction. But I also love that it's just bringing such attention to our amazing sport. We're amazing athletes. They're amazing athletes. I'm retired now, but
I remember walking through an airport and seeing a group of businessmen huddled around a laptop and watching Caitlin Ohashi's floor from down in Anaheim at the Collegiate Challenge. And they kept replaying it and watching it again.
It was just so amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you've never seen someone do a double lay, split in the middle of it, and get their feet together and just, we've talked about before how, she didn't have the love for the sport, and then eventually she learned to love it again, and that showed with those viral routines.
We've told that story before, and we just showed Valerie Condo's field, and I have to give credit to Miss Val, not for her gymnastics coaching, but for resurrecting careers and rebuilding people and their confidence. And there's no better story than Caitlin Ohashi, who had lost her love for gymnastics, and Miss Val said, we put the joy back in gymnastics for her. Well, she did it for herself, they just helped. That's what she'll tell you. All right, Arizona finishes the meet on the balance beam. Allison Fears, first up.
Connection, side aerial into a Sassone. So far, this routine is looking really good. She looks so very confident up there. Flowing from one skill to the next. Beautiful dismount. I think that's going to be a really great score. So round off 1.5. Blind landing, we got to remember that. That's more difficult than a regular forward landing.
These teams had 2 things in common. Both were looking for more coming in, and both posted balance beam as their best event. Arizona is ranked 22nd in the nation, almost averaging a 49 on balance beam, and I mentioned last week in their quad on 49.225. UCLA on the floor, Sarah Julius, first up. Getting camera ready.
This is such a fun, engaging routine.
Added to the floor lineup late last year.
For the Rudy, that is a 1.5. Beautiful leap. She lost her balance a little bit. Teammates doing the choreography with her.
It's just got a fun, playful theme to it. Yeah, there you go.
Last pass. 1.5 layout. She landed with her feet a little bit in front of her.
And there's BJ Doss, choreographer for UCLA.
Her creativity is just out of this world. To be able to come together and create routines for 20 plus girls that are also very different, that cater to their personalities.
And BJ hasn't worked just with gymnasts, of course. Beyonce, Usher, Pink, Ariana Grande, Bieber, Minaj.
She's got a resume.
Performed live at the Grammys. Yeah, and she was a UW gymnast back in the day. She was also an assistant coach at Utah for a year. Lena Deeds back to the beam for the Gym Cats at the U of A. Deeds had a 9-7 on bars earlier this afternoon.
mentioned that they needed to slow her training down to keep her body well. She's definitely in a better place mentally. Her love for the sport has grown. Great save from that front toss. She really held on to it with her toes. Beautiful connection into her dismount.
You've only been doing this for a short time. We've been around this now for, I don't know, 20 years. But one of my favorite things is watching these younger teams get better as the season goes on. Watching John Court build this program. Watching Tabitha do it at Stanford. Watching the Howells do it in Berkeley. Watching the Chaplains, and they've been doing it for a long time up in Corvallis. I love watching those small steps, and each time, you know, those 9.7s turn into 9.75s, and then 9.8s, and then 9.85s, and all of a sudden you get ranked, and people start to show up in your gym, and the crowds get bigger. And you can see it with Arizona. It's there. The seeds are in the ground. Back to the floor. Nora Flatley. Back-to-back 9.85s on floor this year.
Triple full. That is a huge pass to start off with.
Don Colangi was right there. Keep her in bounds. Little elephant walk into the corner.
Similar to Beam, she just brings so much artistry to this sport. Her landings are spot on today. Beautiful leaps.
Nora Flatley with lots of support in the building from the student section, her teammates, and a roommate, Marcetta Frazier, coming over.
One thing to know, those two are absolute besties.
Well, Flatley's been terrific on the floor. Here's that first pass.
Triple full.
Who kept the heel up.
Twists her body 3 times in the air, so very difficult. Her last pass was also so very good. You can just see how much control she has of those landings, which is very important and what the judges look for.
7 people in the all-around, and Flatley leading the way. Her lowest score is a 9.8. That was on bars, 9.85 on vault, and a 9.9 on beam. And now waiting for what we expect will be a top score on floor. While we wave back to the beam. Muller. Only the second beam of Muller's career. Had a 9.825 quad beam at McHale last week in Tucson.
Beautiful
Just looks like a beamer, doesn't she?
She really attacked that series. And again, I have said this before, doing a side aerial into a back layout step out is so very difficult because you are going from a sideways motion into a backwards motion. And she handled that so very well.
Turn while moving, going upside down on a 4-inch.
On 4 inches at that.
Sounds simple.
She was prepping for her dismount. 1.5. Stuck that landing.
Nora Flatley was just running through the UCLA student section, trying to get everybody jacked up. You know, you guys have been doing that now for a long time, and the students, they call for it.
The way Ms. Vaughn would
Right for it, wave you
throw
over.
us into the crowd to run through them, yeah. She made sure we gave the crowd some love.
Well, you want to reward them, right, for coming out so they come back.
Exactly. And they like to be in the mix too, so it's really important to kind of include them in this action.
9.9 for Flatley. That is a season high and just under her career high at 9.95. So you can feel UCLA getting some traction now. Flatley's 9.9 and hands the baton to Jordan Childs. First floor of the year?
I believe so. I'm excited to see this new routine because she just got to campus
Oh, look at how
a month
springy she
ago.
is. My goodness.
Beautiful. Some Lizzo piano work. Like you mentioned, she is springy.
Just a little short.
That's very difficult to do a double layout for your second pass, and you don't see that very often in college.
Ran right to the students.
Great amplitude on those leads. Superwoman, grooving it out before that last pass. Double pike, held on to it.
I want to see that one again. That was great.
That was fun.
Great react shot right there. I think she said, whoa.
You guys are grooving it into the last pass. And usually gymnasts take that moment to tone it down, get a breath. Not Jordan.
Don't waste any. Well, that was fun. That had a little something for everybody. You didn't want to look away. First time this year, debuts it in the home opener.
What can